Happy Monday, friends. It's Carpool, and it's my grateful catch up. I've decided that I'm not going to do a grateful weekend post because it's a good time to. However, it's not that I don't remember. Hey, Aunt Brenda. It's not that I don't remember. We just kind of have random weekends, and this weekend ended up being a busy weekend, partly because I'll tell you why I'm grateful for my husband in a minute. Partly was my fault on Saturday, and then yesterday we went to some friends, kind of impromptu, and it was a lot of fun, and we just kind of caught up with them, and so I didn't have a second to chit-chat. Hey, Miss Kim, how are you feeling? So I'm catching you up on what I'm grateful for my 30 days of grateful. Since we're on day 13, I have to catch you up for Saturday and Sunday. So Saturday, if you read my post about my house and my pantry and all that being clean and straightened out, I was doing so good. I got up and I got the dogs to daycare because they were wild and I didn't feel like walking them because they're little and they get soaking wet, and then I have to bathe them, and I didn't feel like all that. So they'd rather go to daycare sometimes anyway. So we did that, and then I went to the grocery store, and I came home, and Kenzie and her friend were still sleeping, so I was like, I'm going to meal prep. And then I had this genius idea that you could put all the veggies that you have prepped, all the cuttings, down the disposal. You can't. I've done it before. People have told me. I've done it before. I do know you can't put shrimp shells down it. I've done that too and clogged it up. I got in trouble for that too. So, rule of thumb for Steph is don't put all your crap down the disposal. So, it clogged up, literally, John goes, hey, let's go sit by the pool, because we never sit by our pool. Never, ever. We have 4 times. So, if you're in the area and you want to swim, just stop by. We never use it. That's irrelevant. However, so he goes downstairs to take some bottles down that he got out of the pantry. He's like, oh, I'll be sweet and take these down for you. And I was like, okay, cool. Thank you. He goes down there and he's like, I don't know what to do about this house. And I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, there's water pouring down everywhere. And I was like, oh gosh, what happened? We've been here the whole day. So we go down there. Water is pouring out of all of the ceiling, all over the floor, like a ton of water. And I was like, this couldn't have been that long. Well, it wasn't. It was within 2 hours that happened. So I go back upstairs, and he pulls we have an ice maker, you open the door and scoop out the ice. So he goes, that stupid ice maker. And because it was pouring right there. Well, there's a drain line right there. And everything that I had tried to put down the disposal was coming out that drain line and all over the floor. So Kendall goes, Mommy, what is all that stuff? And I was like, oh, that's just insulation. I'll get that out and then we'll clean up the water. It wasn't insulation. It was chewed up vegetables. He was like, what do you mean vegetables? And I was like, sorry. So needless to say, I got in a little bit of trouble. He was like, what are you doing? And I was like, I don't know. I was just meal prepping, which I don't ever do. And I just got a wild hair. And I was like, oh, let's meal prep today. Put all my stuff down there, ground it up. I mean, I was on a roll. And then clearly our day immediately stopped. So that turned into several hours of cleaning up. We're hoping that the sheetrock doesn't buckle downstairs. It's all cleaned up. However, we might have a little bit of vegetables on our subfloor still underneath our cabinets. But what do you do? Anyway. So I'm very grateful for my husband. One, that he has a lot of patience when I do stupid stuff like that. It doesn't happen very often, but it has happened. The disposal and I are not friends. I think our next house, we're just not going to have one, because clearly Steph doesn't understand what to put down there. And then I'm grateful that he's able to, snake our pipes and we didn't have to call a plumber. He's the jack of all trades in the house, thank God. So he cleaned it out. Everything's good. Nothing's leaking. All is wonderful. And then, I'm grateful that he's just patient with me. He got a little angry with me. He might have fussed at me a little bit. I might have fussed back. We don't usually fuss. So Kendall was like, what are y'all doing? And I was like, Daddy's a little upset with me. I made a bit of a mess. Anyway, after that, we went and sat by the pool. And all was well. We'll see how the rest of the basement goes. But, on top of our septic, we have a sump pump that pumps the water out downstairs in our basement. That might have overflowed a couple weeks ago, but that was not my fault. That had nothing to do with me, but it smelled like raw sewage in our basement. So anyway, that's a whole other story, but I didn't have anything to do with that one. I just happened to turn the water on down there, and water started coming out everywhere out of the sump. And I was like, oh, hold up. It smells like trash down here. Something's wrong. Anyway, so I'm grateful that he can fix all that. We don't ever have to call a plumber. Thank God. So then yesterday, so my grateful is Saturday was my husband. Straight up. Like, you know, it was a good day until I just ruined the basement. And then, oh, hold on. They're making me pull up in carpool because, you know, we have to sit on each other's bumper in carpool. It's ridiculous. Melissa, if you're watching this, you know exactly what I'm talking about. This crazy lady gets on my nerves. Hold on. So then, I had to let her pass. Okay. So then yesterday, I'm just, and Saturday was too, I'm grateful for my friends, my kids' friends. I've already told y'all I'm grateful for all my friends, but my kids' friends, they have real sweet friends, and they just had a really fun weekend. And Kenzie learned how to make, she knitted a blanket with her hands with her friend, which is really cute because they were like two little old ladies sitting there knitting their blankets with their little hands. They turned out super cute. She made one for my office and made one for her room. And then Kendall got to ride a horse on Saturday. So that was a lot of fun. Her sweet little friend took her to check on her horse, and Kendall got to ride. And she thinks that's fantastic because Kendall is lover of all animals. And then yesterday, I'm grateful for old friendships. So the other day I talked about not regular friendships, but new and old, and people come in and out. But these are 20-something plus year friendships that we don't get to see very often. And, you know, you have those friends that you just go over there and, like, you just pick right back up. I follow their kids on Instagram because they're older kids. Ours are some of the youngest in this particular little friend group. We have some more friends in this group that are younger, but Kendall's the youngest in this group. But it was sweet. Our kids went over there and just like we all hung out by their pool, and Kendall played in the pool forever by herself. God love her. She's a good entertainer. And it was just nice to go over there, and we all hung around and talked about school and kids and old times and all that. And it's my husband's business partner, but we don't see them friend-wise very often. So anyway, I'm grateful for that. And I'd be super grateful if my little face would clear up, but I can't stop picking it. So there's that. Oh, and then today is my grateful. I'm going to go ahead and do it too. So we're just getting all 3 days, you know, done. I'm going to see Made for More with my mom tonight. If you ever have heard of Girl Wash Your Face, it's by Rachel Hollis, and she does like a conference every year, and it's called the Rise Conference, and she did a documentary. So Mom and I are going to see it tonight. They only had 2 showings, 2 times, and so one was like last week and one is this week. So Mom and I are going, so I'm super happy about that because I don't ever get to do stuff with just my mom. And then, oh, I'm grateful for my run today. It was hard, it was long, it was hot, but I did it. My knee was hurting, my foot was hurting. I felt every bit of my age today, but I did it. It was good. And that's all. There you have it. There's my catch up from what I'm grateful for. Y'all only have half of a month to hear the rest of these. And I'm going to go sit in carpool and read my book now, but I think my main thing is be grateful if you have a handy husband. He might get a little mad at you if you overflow things, make a mess in the basement, but be glad he can fix them. All right, I'll see y'all later. Have a good day.